how often are these classes held? I'm working right now, but.
Cool. Ahlan.
Forgive me, I was walking out.
It's okay, Akhi. I just ain't seen you in a while. كيف حالكم طيبين؟ أهلا وسهلا.
Forgive me, I'm sorry.
لا بأس لا بأس جزاك الله خيرا.
These classes held.
These are from Tuesday to Saturday.
Tuesday to Saturday.
After Salat al-Maghrib.
Tuesday to Saturday.
And if you can't come or you miss it, then you can always get them online. We have the live stream. You can be at work watching it on your phone, on your tablet.
That's very good. Like where? hadithdisciple.com, and then from Tuesdays to Saturdays, Maghrib to Isha.
Yes. And whenever we're not here, we're not classes, always something to watch on the channel.
حلو.
إن شاء الله. أهلا مرحبا بك. بالله سلم على إخوانك.
الله يسلم عليك ويبارك فيك.
حياكم الله. طيب بسم الله الحمد لله وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على رسول الله أما بعد. أبو نائلة تفضل. Nothing. طيب تفضل.
Sheikh, what if someone makes a vow and says that I'm not going to go to my wife for 2 weeks, and he breaks that and he goes within a couple of days? Is he accountable for that?
We say what? A person, he makes a vow not to go to his wife for what? 2 weeks. And then he breaks his vow. We say here in Islam, there are rulings on making vows. Rulings on swearing by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. Sometimes it's an actual vow, an actual means of oath. And there are other times which a person is not intending to swear or make a vow, but is intending to encourage himself or prevent someone from doing something. Wallahi, I'm not going to do this. Wallahi, you're not going to do that. Wallahi, if you do this, so on and so forth. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's swearing, making a vow, an oath, but he's intending to stop you from doing something or encourage himself to do something. I'm not even going to go back to it. So first and foremost, it depends on what he intended. Depends on what? On what he intended. Everybody understand this? Did he actually mean it? Which most people, they don't even what? Have a concept of this thing. Al-ilah. I'm going to leave you. I'm walking out. I'm going home. I'm leaving for a month, for a year. And he doesn't actually what? Everybody understand this? So it all depends on his intention, first and foremost. It all depends on his what? On his intention. If he goes back to her, those details have to be explained, as we said, other than this book. Wallahu ta'ala. And that's in brief. Wallahu a'lam. No more questions. We'll stop here. Follow.
What is like your advice, like with knowledge that they're trying to travel overseas in like Muslim countries as more terrorist attacks goes on? You know, they're more harsh on the beard now about shaving it in certain countries, including Muslim countries.
It says, what advice to give to a student of knowledge that wants to travel overseas and the Muslim lands or the lands of the Muslims or the Middle East or whatever the case may be, whatever word you use, have more terrorist attacks, quote unquote, and they're harsher on those who have beards and things like this. We say first and foremost, not to get too deep, not to go too long. The word terrorism, and terrorist is extremely vague. It's a term that I don't like to use. Terror or terrorism or terrorist. I don't like to use that term for several reasons that we're not going to mention. That's my own personal view. And the word terror, not only is it vague, but it's often misused. And many people, they pinpoint terror or terrorism or terrorists in one aspect. There are many types of terror. Terror just doesn't mean killing somebody and blowing somebody up. You can terrorize someone economically, financially, mentally, spiritually, chemically. All types of terror. That's first and foremost. We know what Islam is and what Islam isn't. We know what Islam stands for and what Islam doesn't stand for. We know the detailed system of al-jihad fi sabilillah. And we know that which isn't the detailed system of al-jihad fi sabilillah. Everybody understand this? But Islam is not a religion that allows and accepts hypocrisy. We don't allow hypocrisy in our deen. You call this person a terrorist because they did something? Well, what type of terror have you done? And are you doing to people who live in your own country or other countries? There are many different types of what? Terror. And there are many different people who are terrorists. Whether he has a big beard and a turban, or whether he has on a three-piece suit and a shaven face. It can be terrorism by pulling the trigger, igniting something, pressing a button, and it's also terror by hitting the return button. a cancel button, an escape button. All types of terror that people do to others. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us, as the Prophet has narrated, إِنِّي حَرَمْتُ الظُّلْمَ عَلَى نَفْسِي وَجَعَلْتُ بَيْنَكُمْ مُحَرَّمًا فَلَا تَظَالَمُوا. I made oppression prohibited upon myself, and I've also made it prohibited among you. So Islam is against all types of oppression, dhulm. Everybody understand this? As for the term terror, or just even the term killing, we don't need, because those are vague terms, and they're all relative terms. They're all what? Relative terms. Everybody understand this? That's first and foremost. We know what Islam is and what Islam isn't. What Islam is and what Islam isn't. Khayr, inshallah. So therefore, we say is that he who wishes to seek ilm, who wishes to seek knowledge, no one can stop him. Nobody. And nothing. Not money, politics, your parents, this one, that one. You can't go travel to Egypt, you can't travel to Saudi, you can't travel here, you can't travel there. No one can stop you from seeking ilm. And if you have the true, sincere intention, and the drive, and the passion, and the thirst, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make a way for you. He will facilitate a way for you. As Allah tells us in the Quran, in many ayats, those who leave their homes, making hijrah, those who have taqwa of Allah, Allah will deliver them from difficulties, provide them. Many ayats in the Quran Kareem that talk about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looking after the people who leave their homes. And as mentioned in the hadith, which isn't the most authentic hadith, but the meaning is correct, inshallah, in the Jami' of Imam al-Tirmidhi, the Prophet ﷺ is quoted to have said, "Man kharaja fi talab al-ilmi kana fi sabilillah hatta yarji," aw kama qeel. The hadith that states, the hadith is not the most authentic, but the meaning is correct, inshallah. He who leaves his home seeking ilm is in fi sabilillah. He's in the cause of Allah. Period. So seeking ilm, no doubt, is a type of fi sabilillah. Allah mentions in Surah Tawbah that the believers are not to go out all together collectively. One ta'ifa, one firqa, what he says, one group should remain. لِيَتَّفَقَّهُ فِي الدِّينِ. Seek knowledge, seek understanding of the religion, and warn their people when they return to them. Surah Tawbah. So therefore, jihad and talab al-ilm go hand in hand. They go what? Hand in hand. So no matter what happens, of pressure, of this and of that, this person, that person, there's always going to be a way. There's always going to be a channel. There's always going to be something, because this is Allah's light. And they cannot put out Allah's light, as He tells us in the Quran. Allah will complete His light, perfect His light, no matter what they want, no matter how they want. So therefore, the only thing that you have to do is work hard, be sincere, make dua, and be ready for when the opportunity comes. Because it's going to come. It may take a year, it may take 5 years, it may take 2 years. You may not be able to go to the country that you wanted to, but the opportunity is going to come. Just make sure that you're ready when it's coming, that you go through the door. And they can never ever stop Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's light, ever. As He tells us in His Quran, in His book. So therefore, in the meantime, you don't have the money, or this country is closed down, or they're not accepting you, whatever the case may be, study while you can, learn while you can. Nothing stops you from memorizing, from carrying around a book, from dressing like a student of knowledge, behaving like a student of knowledge, soaking up as much ilm as you possibly can with what Allah is giving you. Reading the books, listening to the lectures, listening to the tapes, as much as you can. Everybody understand this? So that's my advice to any talib al-ilm. If you're truthful with Allah, Allah will be truthful with you. If you're hardworking and honest, Allah will give you what you desire, what you seek. That's the advice that I can give, and I can only give that advice based off my own personal experiences. Before I went overseas and learned in Medina, in this country, in that country, alhamdulillah, I learned a lot. In my home, in Philadelphia. And I, alhamdulillah, by Allah's permission, all praises for Allah, I took advantage of the things that were available. The brothers from Egypt, from Sudan, from Kuwait, from Mali, from this country, speak with them, talk with them, learn from them. Any book that I can get my hands on, that any Arabic on it, I would get the book. Wallah, it could be a menu at a restaurant. Wallah, a menu, a flyer, this and that. Anything that had Arabic on it, I saw it, or snatch it, grab it. So take advantage. You have to have thirst, you have to have hunger for what you want. And when you have that thirst and when you have that hunger, not only will you benefit in America, but the time is going to come, the door is going to be open. Just make sure that you're what? You're ready. And as we said before in many, many lectures, the more you are studying and learning and living as a talib al-ilm in America, the faster you can fly when you go overseas. Because you're already in gear now. You're already in gear. This brother studying this, I studied Arabic already. I'm dressing like a talib ilm. I know how to sit, how to respect my teacher, how to do this, how to do that. I learned how to sacrifice. I don't have to eat everything all the time, sleep. I've learned these things already. So now, when they're learning the basic ABCs, you're what? You're moving on. That's ma'al nasiha. And Allah's earth is spacious, as He tells us in the Quran. Allah's earth is spacious. So if you can't go to Saudi, go to Kuwait. Can't go to Kuwait, go to Egypt. Can't go to Egypt, go to Malaysia. Can't go to Malaysia, go to Indonesia. Can't go to Indonesia, go to South Africa. Can't go to South Africa, go to Zimbabwe. Can't go to Zimbabwe, it's going to be an avenue open. Because no matter what they spend, no matter how much propaganda, the propaganda machine, no matter how many bombs they drop and accusations they make in this one and that one, they cannot stop Allah's light. And we have to realize that these people are slaves. They're slaves of Allah. What Allah has given them and tested them with and lent them, He can take from them. It's the bottom line. Everybody understand this? This is why the Prophet will make this dua after the salah. That what Allah gives, no one can what? Stop. And what Allah holds back, no one can give. Wallahu ta'ala alam. May Allah give you and all of the brothers and sisters who aspire to learn and study overseas the tawfiq. Allahumma ameen.
Ameen.
Brother asked, is it allowed to pick up money from the floor here in the West?
To pick up money what?
From the floor here in the West, if you don't pick it up, someone else might use it for something.
Is it permissible to pick up money on the floor in the West? If you don't pick it up, so on and so forth. We say here that there are detailed rulings of picking up lost possessions. Of picking up lost possessions. That's an entire chapter of fiqh in Islam. We say the general rule that the Prophet ﷺ has taught us is either you leave the lost possession or you pick it up and you do what's necessary with regards to the lost possession. If you leave it, you're free from any responsibility. If you take it, then it's something that you have to do. Announce that it's lost. Tell the people that it's lost. Make an announcement, making a flyer, social media, a lost and found area, and tell the people, I found a wallet, without giving the descriptions of the wallet. Anyone who's found a wallet, please contact so and so. After a year passes, no one comes, and you do what? Keep it. If the person comes seeking his money, you what? Give it back to him. As far as the people of knowledge, they say, this is in brief, summarizing the issue, if it is something that isn't too significant, it's not something that's expensive and costly, there's nothing wrong with you picking it up and taking it. And this is according to the middle class people. You find $1 on the street, even maybe $5 on the street, something like this, something that's not of a lot of worth. $50, different story. $100, $20, what? Different story. Everybody understand this? Everybody doing this? So a person, he has to be the one who makes this decision. Should I leave the money here? Maybe somebody gets it, do drugs with it, do this with it, make zina with it. Allah. Should I pick it up? Should I take it? Do I want to be responsible for this money? Maybe someone will take the money and do something harmful with it. You have to make that decision. But if you take the money, then what? There's some type of responsibility that you have. Now, one may say, these rulings, walaikum salam to Allah, pertaining to picking up these lost possessions, when the person lives in the lands of the Muslims, and there's an Islamic system of finance and economy, and there's pieces of property that are sacred, and so on and so on and so forth. One may argue with this, and may say in America it's different. Allahu Ta'ala Alam.
What is the difference between a masjid and a musalla? Do you get the same rewards of praying in a musalla, or should one pray in the masjid even though it may be further than the musalla?
Question says, what is the difference between a masjid and a musalla? Do they have the same rulings, same benefits and rewards? Should a person go to a masjid even if it's further than the musalla, etc.? We say that the people of knowledge, they say the word masjid and musalla occasionally are interchangeable. Sometimes a musalla means a masjid, and sometimes a masjid means a musalla. It's relative. Sometimes the words are synonymous. They have the same meaning. And other times, they don't. And some of the people of knowledge, they say that from the things that separate a masjid from a musalla, or even a jami' from a masjid, is first and foremost is that the masjid should be something that's given for Allah. It should be something that's given for Allah. Waqf, an endowment, something that isn't to be sold, something that isn't to be inherited personally, something that isn't to be destroyed and rented out, but it's something that's owned and given, lisabi, for Allah's cause. And a musalla could be a room, a garage, a place, a personal possession, so on and so forth. Even though some musallas could also be waqf, given and endowed. And some of the people nowadays may say that a masjid is a place that's always a masjid. It's always a what? A masjid. It's always prayer, it's congregation. It's never abandoned. All 5 salah are made. A call is given. An imam. And even, some may say even a Jumu'ah. And others may say that's different, a jami'. What's important is that sometimes they're the same and sometimes they're what? Different. Some people, they argue and they say that in America, most of the masjids, if not 9 out of 10, they may say are musallas. And they're actual masjids. Refurbished homes, gutted out homes, warehouses. This used to be this, it used to be that. The brothers, they bought it, they purchased it, and they put the carpet down. They took down the cross, they did this, they did that, and it's a musalla. There's a brother who owns it, or brothers who own it. People who are in charge, if the rent isn't paid, so on and so forth. We say, even if that's the case, because that's a long debate and argument, a musalla in general can take the ruling of a masjid. But not all of the time. If all 5 salah are not made, there may be certain rules that are different, such as praying before you sit down, and things like this. Men seeing a woman, a general person entering, the rulings of entering and sitting in the masjid, etc. So therefore, sometimes they're the same and sometimes they're what? Different. These are some of the differences in the masjid and the musalla. 5 prayers, the musalla is what? Whenever the people come. Adhan, no adhan. Imam, no imam. Given as an endowment, a brother's room, a brother's garage, a house that the people are renting, etc. Everybody understand these things? These are some of the differences that some of the people now say between the musalla and the masjid. And then we have a jami', or a masjid jami', a masjid in which there is Jumu'ah. That's even different with regards to itikaf and other things like this. As far as the rewards, even if the musalla is not a masjid, then perhaps within Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they will receive the reward of the masjid. And that's an issue in itself. When we talk about congregational prayer, the jama'ah, is it mandatory that the jama'ah be made in the masjid? Or can the jama'ah be made in any place, as long as there is a jama'ah? Some say yes and some say no. So those who hold the view that a jama'ah is in any place, then the musalla is going to reap the rewards of the jama'ah, the masjid. Everybody clear on this? Everybody understand these things? So even if the musalla is a bit different from the masjid, inshallah, it will take the ruling of the masjid as far as the reward and things like this. And it can also take other rulings, making tahiyyat to the masjid, so on and so forth. As far as should you go to the masjid that's further than the musalla, then it all depends. How many people are in this masjid? A greater jama'ah, as the Prophet clearly tells us, more people is better to Allah, purer to Allah, a greater reward to Allah. As is mentioned in the authentic hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This, or even if the masjid is older, this musalla is new, this masjid was there longer, go to the original one, pray Jumu'ah at the original one. Why that? And it all depends on how far it is. Extra 5 minutes is not like extra 10 minutes, extra 20 minutes. It's cold, Fajr, Isha, this, that. You have to work, your wife, your children, you have other responsibilities. You have to balance that out and have fiqh and prioritize. And what? And prioritize. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best. Is to answer that question in brief. Fadal Shaykh.
What about a sister who get a book on the phone? Is it?
Question is, a sister getting khulq on the phone. We say, what's important is the evidence, the data or the data. That's important. Is that the one giving the khulq has verified the situation. And he has sufficient evidence, sufficient documentation, verification, whatever the case may be, witnesses, 3-way, this and that. He feels convinced that it is the haqq. That's what's important. Whether it's on the phone, and a text message, email, WhatsApp, Viber, emo, whatever means of communication that you use. Skype. What's important is that the ilm is there. Is the what? The proper ilm. It's been done properly. And that you're sure that this person that you're talking to is the sister and not a brother disguising his voice or another sister. Alright, this is very important. What's important is what? That he's convinced and he feels more than confident. Bismillah, this is what's going on. Everybody understand this? Whether it's done on the phone or in person. A person can lie to you in person. And a person could tell the truth to you on the phone. Nah? Everybody understand this? Somebody could come in person and lie and trick you. And someone could be truthfully, deadly honest on the phone or on email. However, it's not something that's necessarily advisable. Dealing with a situation like that, you need to come in person. I need to come and sit down in my chair and to look at you in the what? The eyes. Eyes. It says what? It's all in the what? It's all in the eyes. Everybody understand this? I need to sit and talk with you in person. I need to see your body language what? In person. On the phone, it's not always the same. Alright, it's very important here. So even if it is permissible, it doesn't mean that we advise with it. Because it's never, nothing like meeting somebody what? In person. I'm sure you can all relate to this. You want to marry your sister, you talk to her wali, her guardian, Skype, keda. It's nothing like going and meeting the sister in person. Seeing her in person. Not from behind the screen or phone. It's like night and day. Doing a business transaction with a brother. You shake his hand. You give him a firm grip, not an intimidating grip. Many people, they do that. Not an intimidating grip. Try to crush your brother's hand. But a firm grip. You look at him, you give him a hug, you can feel. It's not the same. And the same applies dealing with these situations. They should be done what? In person. And these situations should never be done unless it's absolute necessity, emergency, extreme difficulty. Wallahu ta'ala. Top of then. خلاص وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله نبينا محمد. جزاكم الله خيرا. Thank you very much.